Okay, so guys, if you're ready, we'll get started. We have a very unique, very interesting video today. We're going to be talking about the different, you could say dialects or accents, or the way that Azerbaijani language is spoken from region to region. We'll do introductions first.
So, hello everybody. My name is Anar Aliyev. I'm from Republic of Azerbaijan. I was born in Qazax city. That's my hometown. It's pretty close to the Georgia. And that's my third video on this YouTube channel. I'm really excited. And in my country, we have also a lot of dialects, but I'm gonna try to go with the official language of Azerbaijan, like from Baku.
Hello everyone, my name is Mehrdad. You might know me from Words in Azeri or Words in Persian. I'm from Iran. I was born in Tehran, but my family is originally from Urmia, which is a city in West Azerbaijan province. And I'm happy to be part of this video.
Okay, we'll have the link to Mehrdad's pages in the description for anybody who wants to go check them out.
My name is Farzam. I live in Manchester right now, but originally I'm from Tabriz. I will try to represent the accent of the region of Tabriz, see how it goes. And nice to meet you all, by the way.
Hi everyone, I'm Milena from Georgia. I was born in Tbilisi. It's my first video and I'm super excited. And because it's an Azerbaijani video and we're facing different accents from different countries, so I think it will be very interesting for all of us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only for people who speak Azerbaijani, but also other Turkic languages as well. And even people within each of these countries, within Georgia, within Azerbaijan, and within Iran. I think it's very interesting for people to see the diversity that exists within one language and within each of these countries, which is something we can discuss later and talk about. But we'll get started now. So everybody will do a paragraph, and each of these paragraphs will have certain unique words and phrases, or some words that are pronounced a certain way, which would be different from if you move over a little bit. You know, if you just go over like 50 kilometers, it might be pronounced differently, right? So we'll get started with yours, Anar. You can do your paragraph and then we'll discuss it more.
Mən həmişə Qazaxlı biri ilə qarşılaşdıqda deyirəm Eloğlu həncərisən. I don't know if everybody is understanding like exactly what I said.
No, to be honest, I lost it in the middle. I think if I heard this more slow, I would understand, but like I lost it in the middle right now.
So maybe try it again, but just kind of slower.
Sure. So Qazax is a province where I was born. I just want to mention that. The Qazax, the word of Qazax is the province name. So mən həmişə Qazaxlı biri ilə qarşılaşdıqda deyirəm ki, Eloğlu həncərisən.
I got every word besides Hanjara. Hanjarisan.
Is that this another city's name? Probably.
Qazax.
No, Hanjara.
I understood everything. He's saying that every time I meet someone from Kazakh, I say, how are you? Eloğlu, I don't know how to translate it into English. Eloğlu is like a son of
our motherland. Like if somebody, the person that you're talking with, if he's from same place that where are you from, you call him Eloğlu. Eloğlu means the motherland son.
Okay.
Exactly.
The son of the motherland. So
You don't use that word, but I could see how you could use it.
Yeah.
So for example, for Milena, I can call her Elgızı because we are too close to each other. So I'm okay to call her Elgızı because she's somewhere close to me and she's somewhere really close to my province, and we are basically the same, let's say, same member of the clan of Azerbaijan, like a dialect of Azerbaijan. So we call each other Eloğlu, Elgızı.
That's very interesting because I think there is a lake in Tabriz, if I'm not mistaken. It's called El Gülü or Gölü. Yes. And I think El in our dialect means more like people. So like people's son or people's daughter.
So we're using, in Georgia, we use it in the same way. So that's why I understood everything.
Right. Do you guys use Hamshahri too, or
Hamsha. Hamsha.
No, I'm saying for Hamshahri, for if you're from the same city.
Hanjarisem means basically like, how are you? Either when you Hanjari, you can use it as a to ask like, how is it? What happened with it? Like, what's going on with it? So you're always using that word in order to say like, how does it go? Like, how is it working? For these kind of things, you are asking Hanjari or Hanjari-san. When the person is asking you Hanjari-san means, how are you doing? How's it going with you?
Okay.
So in
We don't have that. That's totally different.
I have also heard this word, Hanjar. In some regions, people are using this word, but not in my area. But I have heard it before.
I guess in Georgia, close to Marnouli and Gardabani cities, when you go there, you can hear from the people are using these words because they are also close to my province, so probably they got influenced by our people.
But mostly now adults are using this kind of words because now my generation is speaking more closely to like original Azerbaijani, like spoken in Baku.
I try to use some words from my province because it's located in west part of Azerbaijan, so they have a different dialects which is close to probably yours than Baku. And but in Baku, if you would use Hanjari word, probably most of the people won't understand it either.
Yeah.
What would
what
the
makes
person
this...
from Baku say for that? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
What would the person from Baku use instead of Hanjari? I have never heard Hanjari before.
You would say Nejasan.
Okay, yeah.
So that's easy probably to understand.
You can do the other one and then we can just kind of like discuss.
So the second one is Ahvalım pis olanda mən çöldə bayırda gəzməyi sevirəm.
When
just one word. Please, Mehrdad, go on.
Yeah, I think he said when I don't feel good, I would go. Can you repeat it again?
Ahvalım pis olanda mən çöldə bayırda gəzməyi sevirəm.
I didn't understand bayırda, but I think çöl is like in the I forgot the English word for it.
Outside.
Outside, yeah, I will go like outside when I don't feel good or when I feel bad.
Or when I'm in a bad mood.
Okay.
Can I jump in here? Chöl is an interesting thing. So in Tabriz, chöl would mean outskirts of the city. But in other cities of Azerbaijan, in Iran, it means just outside. So, yeah, like I had a friend, I called him, I said, where are you? He said, I'm in Chöl. And I'm like, no, you were at the supermarket. And he's like, yeah, that's what I said, I'm in Chöl. Like, but to me, it means outside of the city.
So in my language, when you say çöl and bayır together, çöldə bayırda means when you are really outside, out of the house or out of the school, somewhere like in, like somewhere on the way, you can call it çöldə bayırda. But when you call çöl by itself, for us, is somewhere like a desert, like there is no one, there is nothing. It's like, let's say, Atacama is a çöl for us. Either Big Sahara is a çöl for us because there is nothing to do and there is nothing at all. I mean, it's just a çöl, like just a flat zone. There is nothing to do. You can also call it as a çöl. And bayır also means outside. Kapıdan bayırda is like behind of the door, like outside. So we use these two together just to explain ourselves, like I'm not home. Çöldə bayırda means we are somewhere outside.
Do you guys use the word eşik by any chance for outside?
Well, yeah, eşik, it's mostly using in our province. Where am I from? The Qazax. We are also say eşiye, so it means to out.
That's what we use. That's what we use in Urmia.
That's what I would usually say as well.
Yeah, in Georgia as well.
No, we can do your final one, and then we'll move on to the next. We'll move to Mehrdad. So you can go ahead and say the final one.
Final one is Bakıdan çıxıb uzun illər başqa ölkədə yaşadıqda vətən üçün darıxırsan.
Fully understood. That was easy.
Same here.
So I didn't really use like different phrases or different dialects in this sentence because that's actually how do we speak in Baku. So it's just should be simple for you guys to understand, I guess.
But the other thing is you said Darkhursan. In Urmia they dropped the sun, so it's like Darkhuran. So instead of saying Darkhuran, instead of Darkhursan.
It's because our grammar goes like, if I say man, like myself, it should finish with M, the verb. Like darkhmak is as a verb, like you are missing, and it should finish with M. And when it's you, like sen, should finish with S. Sen darkhırsan, man darkhıram. So that's why it's like in a grammar, we use it in this way.
That is interesting. Actually, I speak more closely to Anar in this. I would say san, jedisan, jalisan. But I did not know Urmia was like that. I know we have
we say like Gediran, Geliran.
Okay. So like Zanjanis. Zanjanis speak like that as well.
When I watch like Azerbaijani movies from the Republic, I also notice you guys use more Russian loanwords. Like we use more Persian loanwords and you guys use Russian loanwords. I think, well, which is natural, as you said, because you lived as part of Soviet Union and we are part
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
If I can just also say something, I totally agree with the loanwords bit. Like clearly we do have more Persian loanwords. Depends. Sometimes we just get lazy and use Persian loanwords, but it is more in our language, in our accent. But accent-wise, in my opinion, like Tabriz is more far away from Persian living cities, so we don't have a similar accent. But when you talk about Hamadan or Zanjan, definitely, yeah. Like Zanjani to me is like an Azerbaijani with a heavy Persian accent. That's how I hear it.
It's interesting you mentioned Hamadan because my dad is from northern Hamadan, and their language, they speak Azerbaijani, right? I remember when we were kids and we drove, further north, we went through Qazvin and we went to this area where we were basically in an area where people, like especially older people, didn't speak Persian, right? So we had, like, my dad's like, oh, don't worry, I will communicate. I can understand what they're saying. So he starts talking to people and everyone's like confused. They're like, because of the heavy, like, as you said, like their accent is a lot heavier and it sounds like Persian. So they have to really focus on what he's saying to try to figure out the conversation, right?
Actually, I also have a memory from speaking with someone from Northern Hamadan. So I saw this guy, we started having a chat in Persian, and after a while I saw he has an Azerbaijani twang. I'm like, wait, are you Azerbaijani? And he's like, yes. I'm like, why are we speaking Persian? And let's just switch to Azerbaijani, which we're more comfortable. So he speaks to his Hamadani version, I speak to his to my Tabrizi version, and we don't understand each other so well. We keep having to repeat our words. And at some point we were like, you know what, let's just go back to Persian.
The other thing is, like, I want to talk about Ardabil because I visited Ardabil like a few years ago, and they have this tendency that, well, I don't know about Tabrizi accent, but like the words that we pronounce with qaf, like the q sound, they pronounce it with qaf. And also the gaf words, they pronounce it with j sound. So like if you say gamish, they wouldn't understand you. You have to say jamish. So like they say jamish, yeah, jamish julu, which was funny to me because we don't do that. Or like we say gash for eyebrow, and they say gash, which is like also different from us.
Both of words are like we pronounce it in the same way, like gash, gamush in Georgia.
No, for us it's like the GH or Q sound when we say it. Like in Persian alphabet it would be the qaf, so it's like gash with the q sound. But in Ardabil they say gash, like you guys.
Same, gosh, Jomish. Also, no, one massive thing about Ardabil is they also end their verbs in weird ways, like, not weird, different ways. Like, olur, it is, they will say olay, like, halım kharab olay, or ojale, ojedey, instead of ojalir, ojedir. That is also interesting in Ardabil accent.
In Georgia, like in some areas, people say gedir, gelir. In some areas they say gelir, gedir, like with j mostly.
Right. Well, so now we're going to do the next part, which is Mehrdad's paragraph. And I'm interested to see how well, or like how well everybody else can understand this one. Because I think there are some parts that are...
I'm curious about Persian accents most of all.
So yeah, so whenever you're ready, Mehrdad, you can go ahead and read.
But the first sentence, I think it should be easy, but as we go through the paragraph, it's going to get harder. That's what I think. Because I use more regional words that we use. Okay, so bugün yaxın bir dostumu görəcəyim. Qeynaltıya çağırıb məni.
I fully understand except of the first word from the second sentence.
Qeynaltı.
Qeynaltı.
Qeynaltı.
Is that like a second breakfast? Galyanaltı? That's how we say.
Actually, it's breakfast, not second breakfast.
Okay.
For breakfast, qeynaltı, yes.
I've never heard that word before.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mehrdad, just a quick clarification. Are you from Urmia or are you from somewhere?
No, I'm from Tehran. I was born in Tehran, but my family is originally from Urmia. So I learned the language from my family.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of funny because for us, Galyanaltı is a second breakfast between of lunch and breakfast. When you're just like eating something so quick, you call it Galyanaltı. But for us, the breakfast is seher yemeği, which means the morning food. And Galyanaltı for us is a second breakfast, which is also known in the Turkmen area of Iraq, which calls Kirkuk. I don't know if you guys heard about this place. And over there, if you go and if you ask for Galyanaltı, they would say the same thing. They would say like that's a second breakfast, not the breakfast one, the first one.
Qaluşlarımı gidim və börkümü başıma qoydum.
Galush is like a shoes, some kind of shoes.
Yes, it is. It's a type of shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one?
Börkümü başıma koydum.
Hat.
Hat, yes. Börk is hat. Exactly, you got it.
Like I have never heard something like this, but I just
guessed, yeah. Well, it was a good guess. Yes.
It's hat. But Polish, I have heard something like this. From Russian, I think we have also.
Interestingly, I heard they also use it in Gilan province of Iran. They speak Gilaki, which is a different language. It's not a Turkic language, but they have the same word. So I don't know how it went to our dialect of Azeri.
Mehrdad, quick question. Is it the same as jiva? Like give?
Giva. No, it's not. It's a plastic type of shoe. So it's not like giva.
Flip-flop, kind of.
Yeah, like a flip-flop, yes. And how do you guys say hat in your dialects?
For us, in Georgia, we say also ayakkabı, but galosh, we say mostly plastic shoes, which are used mostly like in the villages, maybe working in the garden.
Right. And how do you say hat in your dialects?
Papaq.
Oh, papaq, okay.
Yeah, for me in Baku, you would say papaq with Q, finishing with Q, but in my province, you would say papaq, which finishes with X.
Yeah, I would just use birch or pronounce it like B even.
Okay. So you drop the K.
Yeah, in Tabriz sometimes we get very lazy. We tend to drop lots of syllables. I'll get more to it later on.
I'm also interested to know why you guys say J for G. Like you said Jiva for Giva.
Yeah, that's very Tabriz.
I just thought it's just Ardabil, but
no, I would say Eastern Azerbaijan, Ardabil. Definitely, these both provinces do say like that mostly.
Çincik, çittiya yola düştüm. ve gördüm bilesini. Baş başına koştum ki malumdu keyfin sazdı.
What was the first word? Can you repeat?
Kincik. Kincik.
Kincik.
Yes.
You mean now? Şimdi?
Is it
Hindi?
sunset? Sunset, maybe?
It's something that you eat.
Yeah, I understand. The second word you said "shtiya,"
Yes.
like eating.
Yes.
Like sunflower seeds.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
like we say "tamak" for the sunflowers.
Yes, same for us.
Sunset.
Actually, we use a Russian word, semishka. I think it's
You,
yeah.
or sunflower seeds. You guys use that?
Yeah.
We call sunflower seeds as a tum. T-U-M. Tum.
I would say some people say gara tuhum. Tuhum means I think maybe it's Persian, means seed, so black seed. I've heard that
Right.
as well.
Rest of the sentence is yola düştüm ta gördüm bilesini baş başına koştum ki malumdu keyfin sazdı.
It's known that your mood is okay. Keyfin sazdı. Saz is actually like musical instrument, but I guess in here you guys use it to say good. I mean, like in a perfect way, right? So keyfin saz olması, that's like your mood is good.
Like in Georgia, we also use this kefin sazdı, like you are in a good mood. But what about Azerbaijan? Is it used also there? I have not heard.
In my province, we're close to the Georgia. Yeah, we do use like kefin sazdır means like your mood is okay. But in Baku, the people will still understand you, but it's not common way to use like you're okay. Like we call it in somehow different.
And then baş başına koştum. Did you understand that?
Baş başına koştum is like you are running somehow. Baş başına.
It means like I messed with him. I messed with him. Like I was messing with him.
Okay.
I would say baş başına koydum.
Yeah, we say koştum. So. Dedi ki hey geçinişirek da ayrı zat elimizden gelmir ki. Ben de dedim eybi yok da bu dünyada hemişe bu curandı.
We cannot do anything anymore because this is how the world's order is.
Right. But how about the first part? Dedi ki hey geçinişirek da.
We are being late.
He said that did you say geçmiş?
Geçinişirek.
Is it past
I would say
geçmiş?
I would say geçiniruh.
I have no idea as well. Can it be?
So for us, geçinişirek means I'm just hanging in there, or I'm just passing days. From geçinmek, which means to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I try to mix like more easy and common phrases with a bit more harder ones to have a good mix at the end of the day. So here it is. Salam, necəsiz? İnşallah ki yaxşısınız. O gün gərdəşimin yoldaşlarının çıxdıq çölə. Sərin bir qarpız yedik. Çox söydüm, yeriz boş. Xoşluq dizdən idi. Amma uşaqların biri qarnı sancılandı. Deməli ki bu qarpız o sancılandıranlardanmış. Sonrası da yağış tutdu. Hamımız cincilaqsı olduq. Okay, should I go back piece by piece or did you guys get it all?
I understood everything you said. Everything.
same here.
Yeah. Everything
Wow.
was clear.
Overall, that's very simple to understand. Like the paragraph is easy to translate. But I just think there are a couple of words in there that might be pronounced differently.
I guess one of them was yaxşı. I guess you instead of we in Azerbaijan, I mean the Republic of Azerbaijan, we say yaxşı, but I guess you used yaxşı, which is like a little bit with the accent with ch instead of sh. That's how you say it, right? And there was another thing you said. Dizdanidi, something like that. Like,
Okay.
what was that
Sentence
part?
by sentence, maybe it would be better.
Okay, I think let me go bit by bit. I think there are bits that it is probably different. So yes, we would say hoşluk dizdanide. Like dizdanide means like up to the knees, like it was so much.
Yeah.
It was up to the knees. So if I want to say I had a very good time, I could say hoşluk or dil hoşluk dizdanide. So it's just a phrase that we use.
Interesting.
Yeah, we don't have that expression.
Okay,
Yeah.
so another thing that I thought would be interesting here is that in Tabriz, if you want to say I love something or I like something, you would say söydüm, söylemek. But
In Republic of Azerbaijan, if you say "söydüm," it means you swear, you yell at someone.
Yeah,
yes,
for us it means both.
yes, that is why I chose this, because even if you get 10 kilometers, so in Tabriz, if I say onu söydüm, it means I liked him or her. But if you go 20 kilometers outside of Tabriz and you say onu söydüm, that means I'm swearing at him or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you're yelling or swearing at him. That's right. That's how you would say in Republic of Azerbaijan. So don't say anyone up there. Make sure you're still loving.
But the
would
thing
say
is,
Seb,
I
wouldn't
think
you?
Urmia is interesting because we use the same word for both meanings, but it depends on the context. So we use it for like swearing and also liking someone.
How could you differentiate?
It depends on the context, I guess.
The guy has to look at you. If you're smiling at them,
If
he
you
would
want to
assume you love them.
differentiate, you can also say like söğüş verdim to make it more direct that you didn't like them. You just cast them out basically. But
So for swear, we would say yaman demek mostly, but I know yaman is something good usually. Like, yeah. So zimzilach solduk. Is that something you guys use?
If we got wet from the head to like
Soaking wet.
it.
How would you say?
Totally wet.
How would you pronounce it?
I don't know. Like I have not used it. Like mostly in Georgia, in my family, we're speaking in Azerbaijani, in Russian, in Georgian all together. So sometimes I mix the languages. So I have not used it in Azerbaijani this word, but I have heard, I guess, this word. That's why I understood it. So that's why I understood it.
But this is what's intriguing about dialects, right? Like, because there's always a history behind everything. It's like, this is actually what really got me interested to starting this channel, the history of languages, like how they developed, how they like influenced each other, and how they were influenced, right? So we see that a lot more when we look at dialects. It's actually very, very interesting. And I think with yours, Milena, like your paragraph is actually quite interesting because there's, I think, 3 or 4 words in there that I would be very surprised if the other guys can pick those up. So you can do yours when you're ready. You can do yours, and I'd be very interested to see how you guys do with this.
Dünən çox pis ayam idi, yağış yağırdı və soyuq idi. I think you all understand this.
100%.
What about ayam?
Ayam, I didn't understand.
Hey.
Dünən çox pis ayam idi, yağış yağırdı və soyuq idi.
Yesterday
I didn't get that part.
Is that from
I think you can
ayam?
guess ayam from the context.
Does that means like ayam, like days?
No, it's not from Arabic, ayam.
Okay. Does it mean weather, like hava?
Yes. It's weather, and I have no ideas where from we got this word. So we say ayam. When my relatives come from the Republic of Azerbaijan, they were very surprised when they heard this word. So we stopped. Dünən çox pis ayam idi, yağış yağırdı və soyuq idi. Buna görə naçaxladım və öydə oturdum.
Naçaxlamaq means you are getting sick, right? Naçax means sick for us.
Xəstələnmək in literature way.
We say naxoşlandım.
Nohosh. I would say
Yeah, in
nohosh.
some areas, I wanted also to add this. In some areas in Georgia, like people say "nahoşlanmak." Like all of these varieties are used. Naçaklamak, xəstələnmək, nahoşlamak. All of them.
Can you go from the beginning, but this time like a little slower? So
This sentence.
yes, the sentence.
Okay. Dünən çox pis ayam idi, yağış yağırdı və soyuq idi. Buna görə naçakladım və öydə oturdum.
I 100% understood that.
Yeah, like just except the word naçakladım.
Yeah.
Everything
Öydə,
else
do
was
you understand?
understandable. And
Öy.
ayam, which you already öy, that's how we say house.
Yes.
In Urmia, öy. But I think in the Republic
In
it's
some
ev.
parts we say ev, but sometimes we say öy. Öy, ev, like both of
In
them.
Azerbaijan, I would say ev, but I've heard öv as well in Iranian Azerbaijan.
Yeah, in Urmia we say öy or
There you go.
Next. Amma büyün dənzündən ayam daha yaxşıdır və uşaqlar eşdə oynayırlar.
Danüzünden means sorry interrupting you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was going to repeat the sentence.
Danüzünden for me in like when I was a little, I remember my grandparents were telling me danüzünden kalkmak means wake up so early. Danüzü is like when the sun shines are raising up. Is that the word? Danüzü?
Yeah, it's basically morning.
Yes, it's
morning.
basically it's morning, not
Early
early morning. We used to call it morning, sabah, instead of sabah. It depends from the context of the, like when we say good morning, we say sabahın xeyir or sabahın xeyir. But if we're saying something we did in the morning or we're doing in the morning, we say dənzü.
That's interesting because in Urmia we use soup and sabah interchangeably, but sahar for us means tomorrow. So people say sahar soup gideceğim, sahar soup, whatever they are planning to do like tomorrow morning. But sahar for us means tomorrow, and then you either say sabah or soup for morning.
Yes, sahar is also interesting because we use sahar for tomorrow morning and also for the morning.
Or it's completely opposite for us.
Both of them are acceptable for us.
So I would say sabah as tomorrow. To mean sabah means tomorrow, full stop, doesn't mean morning. And sabah means tomorrow. And morning would be soup or sahar. That would be morning for me. And I think that is a common phenomenon, like in many languages, tomorrow and morning are interchangeable.
Yeah.
So I think that's how that happened.
Yeah, that's right. Even in Spanish, they say mañana is like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, or
for them it's the same thing.
Also,
instead of
for bathroom, we say eşigyeri. So because bathroom was usually situated in the yard,
outside
of the house, so they would say eşigyeri, which literally means part, like the place of outside.
So for us, it means like outside yard. Like in Azerbaijani, in literature, where they say hayat or bayrak is also.
That's not hayat. Hayat.
Maybe they say çık bayrak, go out. We say çıkışya.
Same for us.
But the thing is, like for us, hayat is the life. Hayat with the at sound.
Yes,
hayat
I pronounced it incorrectly.
Yeah,
hayat.
That's right.
We say hayat for yard, but for life, people use the Persian word like zendegi or zendegi, and then I heard some people say yasham, but yasham is not very common. Zindagi is more common. It's like the Azerified version of zendegi.
Mm-hmm.
I think like a video like this is very interesting for people to just look at or hear how one language is spoken differently from one region to another, even within one province, right? Like you go from one city to another city.
To be honest, that's exactly why I started like words in Azeri and words in Persian, to trace the etymology of those words, which is really fascinating when you look at it.
And I really encourage people to check out Mehrdad's pages, and it shows a lot about history, right? And that's what's very interesting about all of our countries, because like Iran, for example, is a very diverse nation with many different ethnic groups, many different multi-religious as well, multilingual. There are different languages, and I just hope that we as a nation, as neighbors, we can start to like learn more about each other's languages and cultures, instead of feeling superior or inferior or whatever, right? I think it's very important, like if we spend more time to try to explore other languages and cultures that are our neighbors, our own compatriots, our own countrymen, and celebrate them, you know, like, you know, not just know about them, but really like celebrate them as a very diverse nation. So I think, yeah, go ahead, Mehrdad.
Sorry to interrupt you. Iran is very unique because, as you said, is like an historical nation that has been there for centuries, and these different ethnic groups, they live together for so many years that they are part of the one nation, but at the same time they kept their differences and cultures and languages, which makes Iran very unique in that aspect. Like every city that you go to, there's a different cuisine, different language, different costumes that you can learn about. And I think we should really embrace that and be proud of it, instead of trying to make everyone the same, like European nations.
Yeah,
I think that
exactly.
That won't work in Iran, because I think it's against the nature of the country.
Different Iranians will communicate with each other speaking Persian, but we do have different languages, and as you said, we should embrace that and celebrate it and respect each other's languages and cultures. And I think that's the only way we can be a better nation, a greater nation, and also develop better relations with our neighbors, right? And I really hope that this video can help in order to do that, because I want it to be educational, entertaining, for people who speak Azerbaijani, but also other people, and also be a means for us to come closer as a nation and also as neighbors.
Very well said.
That's all I wanted to add. But I do want to thank you again. This was really wonderful. Thank you all. Everybody brought a lot of interesting information.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And nice to meet with all of you guys.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Nice to meet you, everybody. And thank you very much, Bahadur.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you again. You guys have a great day and great night, depending on the location.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Nice to meet you, everyone.